these loser hating sons of bitches from outside of the UAE that look for an excuse to judge Dubai and say Dubai
Let's talk
is
about
this
them a little
shit
bit,
or this, that. They're the ones that go say, you see this fake city? We're not fake, Baba.
Because there's a lot of people who are very fake in Instagram.
Human nature everywhere you go.
Yeah, no, but like in Dubai, it's too much. He rented the car. He maybe have a fake Rolex, or I don't know. He
Whatever.
I don't know how he got it from a friend in a yacht.
I was losing money because I had to attend classes. I'm like, this is a fucking joke. I'm making more money in a week than my school fees is worth. What we will call God, the ultimate being, the most singular entity, whether scientist, whether you're an atheist or not, whether you like it or not, something put us here. We think we can fucking play God and make this little rule and box and this tape that everyone must measure based on how that tape goes. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean...
And that fuck you is to every single institutional structure that has decided it's going to play God. Because it always fails.
Welcome on CHEKD on another episode. And today I chose a young businessman. And I want to emphasize on young. He's one of my friends. I met him 2-3 years ago. I'm not wrong. I think 3 years ago we met.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
We have Tonny.
Yeah.
How is it going with you, man?
Absolutely spectacular.
It's been like a few months we didn't meet.
Yeah, a few months. Last time we ran each other was in the mall. Yeah.
Actually, I was planning for you to be my first guest.
We spoke about the idea very early before you shot your first video.
Actually, we spoke about the idea of like 1 year plus.
Yes, in Misha's house.
Exactly.
You talked about the YouTube and then you got busy.
Actually, I have a lot of things coming in the future. I mean, I'm sure we will talk about it later. And I'm sure you will be interested in what I'm preparing on YouTube.
I can't wait.
But look, I mean, the reason why I chose to also do a podcast with you, because I'm sure everybody who lives in Dubai, who's on his Instagram, he saw one of your reels.
Possibly.
But the first time I met you, I was like, it was in Misha's birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like, this Will Smith kind of vibes. This guy, who's this guy? I never thought like you are a businessman. Like your vibe was very cheerful. I was like, he's sort of traveler or
very
something.
Very unserious.
Yeah, I would not say unserious, but very outgoing and very humble. Because usually when I meet successful business people in Dubai, they have this up nose kind of attitude.
I know what you mean,
But with you, it was different. That's why I really appreciate you.
I love the kind words.
That. But there's something also I always think about because I am following you on Instagram for a long time.
Yeah.
What happened to Crypto Genie?
Bro, so the reason why I stopped Crypto Genie was I was trying to get verified, legacy verified on Instagram for a while.
All right.
And there was a point where Instagram, Meta, before it was called Meta, they were still called Facebook at the time.
Yeah.
Facebook was not verifying anybody talking about crypto or selling crypto or pushing any crypto projects. So all the verified crypto accounts were verified as musicians, other things, whatever, business people. And then they started to switch their content to crypto. So my PR manager advised me to stop talking about crypto, get verified as a business person, go more, generic, which again was also a comfort zone for me. After I got legacy verified, which again is so annoying because I got verified, 3-4 months, and then Instagram unlocked the paid verification.
But anyway, do you think it's a good idea what Instagram did with this verification badge that you can get it with the money? So you have to pay a fee and you can get it easily?
Personally, I don't think it was a good idea because when you talk about now verification, again, but no matter how you look at it, capitalism is capitalism. There's always, everything becomes commercial at some point, and after a while, when you really look at this, you realize 99% of the decision making is commercial decision. It's commercial backed. And do they have a reason to? Are they they have a right to, it's their business.
Yeah.
But in regards to the social value that thing held, it just diminished. They just diluted the power of it.
Yeah.
And again, it is what it is, it's their platform. They can do what the fuck they want.
Yeah, I mean, for me now, like having a blue badge on Instagram is not a wow thing like it used to be. Usually it's like all impressive. If somebody like your post and you have that blue badge, you'll be happy.
Absolutely.
But now it's like...
And let's be honest, the blue badge was beyond the social value and the social prowess it came with. It also was a way to legitimize certain people and certain things. And now every single person, legitimate or not, can get it.
Yeah.
The whole point of verification is, as the word says, you are verified.
Yeah. You're
Now,
legit. You're like,
yeah.
you're
Now
somebody.
anybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. One thing I wish they did was, I wish they would just separate it, make it a different name or a different color
Or like
or a different
orange
icon,
badge.
something like Twitter did, right?
Yeah.
With a different company and all the stuff like that. You know, I wish they did that, because then you can really tell who is really famous for being famous and being valuable, who is really a notary public, worthy person of that badge.
Also, there is something that because I noticed that you were talking about your parkour and your experience. And you were talking about Canada, that you started from Canada.
Yeah. So I lived in Canada, went to high school, then university, came to Dubai. Well, I dropped out of 3 universities in my life.
So you dropped out as well, like,
Yeah.
because I am noticing this pattern. A lot of business people, a lot of entrepreneurs.
Anybody
they
who
drop out.
can take initiative, anybody who can actually go and do something without needing the validation of some institution, will always weigh the odds and be like, so I have this in my hand right now versus what I'm trying to pursue, and this seems to be more valuable.
Yeah.
When I looked at it as well, after 1.5 years or so of being in Dubai, I was in Middlesex University, I was losing money because I had to attend classes. I'm like, this is a fucking joke. I'm making more money in a week than my school fees is worth. And meaning every single day of class, I'm losing more than that stupid fucking A4 paper would ever get me. I'm like, nah, this is nonsense. I called my mother. I was like, Mom, I don't want to be disrespectful for all the money you've spent on the school fees, but get ready to stop paying it, because I'm not going back.
And I'm making, like, if you're going to university to make money, and you can find the formula to make money prior to that,
Great.
just quit.
Absolutely.
If you're going to learn something, that's another story.
You know, I always tell people, if you're not an engineer, architect, astronaut, doctor, lawyer, something that requires traditional institutional knowledge, you don't need it. Bottom line is, I thank school for one thing, or 3 things. School is a place where I learn how to drink, how to play poker, and how to chase women.
Well, especially the third one is important.
It's the most important, because the social skills that come around that gives you benefits everywhere else. You know, and when you really think about it, the whole point of engaging and encountering a school experience is the actual community and the relationships you build.
And the memories.
Everything else is bullshit.
The memories are 100%.
priceless. Till now, I still have some of the best, most successful deals or most interesting outcomes just because I had friends in school, classmates who, they might have been nothing. One of my friends, his uncle just became the minister in Nigeria. And when we were at school, he was a nobody.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to
all
live.
relationships. And again, nobody went to school like, oh, I'm going to be your friend because in 6 years or 12 years, a father or uncle might be minister. No, nobody knew that.
You cannot read the future.
It's just the relationships that you develop.
When you're friends with people in high school or university, and then you meet them or you catch up with them after a few years, you will be a special person for them because they met you in maybe one of the most beautiful periods of their lives.
I'll give you an example. A month ago, one of my classmates from school, me and him were just as bad. I don't know who was worse when it came to attending class less. He texts me, yo, bro, I just found your reel in the Pakistan page. It's like, bro, I own a development company now in Pakistan. We develop over 120 buildings, and I want to bring that company to Dubai. I see you helping move to Dubai. Can you help me? Just like that.
See?
What do we have in common? We went to school together and we missed classes together.
That's one of the best common points you will find with a person. Like
100%.
Like in my like among my friends now, I have only one friend who I've been with in high school.
Yeah.
And he's somehow the closest person to my heart because he knew me when I was a kid. This is unbreakable. I mean, I totally agree with you.
I agree 100%.
But I mean, you spoke now about business setup.
Yes.
But because I really want to dive into that, I want to know how you started, why you choose this field of business setup in Dubai. I think I know the answer, but I want to hear from you. But before that, there is another question I want to know. Like, when you graduated or you drop out from your university, when you drop out / graduated,
yes.
Why you didn't stay in Canada? Like, did you come directly to Dubai? Was it something that you didn't like about Canada?
Canada is a shithole.
Okay, just because of that.
No, so I can elaborate what I mean by shithole.
Elaborate, because I saw your reel, like you were calling some cities shithole.
Oh, there's a
which is I agree with most of them.
Yeah.
But if you
But it's a
elaborate,
criteria. The reason why a place is a shithole is not just because I feel like calling a random place a shithole. Like I said in my video before, high taxes, crime, and
Yeah.
unhappy citizens or residents. That's what makes a place a shithole. The moment anywhere falls into either or, in a lot of cases, all of those categories, because oftentimes when you have a place with high taxes, there's often very unhappy citizens and there's
Yeah.
definitely often crime. You
in
really
Canada,
actually
there's crime
bro,
in
there's
Canada.
as much, if not more, crime in Canada as there is in America.
I didn't know that.
There you go. The very difference is America has their nose in everybody's business. So everybody always knows. America's always exporting their media and their information. So everybody knows what's going on in America.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on in Canada. Canada has more drugs in South America. Canada is bigger than America, by the way, in landmass. Bear in mind.
Yeah.
And people forget doors swing two ways. On Netflix, they have made us believe that drugs only goes from the southern border from Mexico into America.
So it can
There's
go
a
from the other way.
bigger border at the very top with better diplomacy policies, and they're not brown skin, they're white skin. So they get preference. There's more weed and there's more drugs being transported through. All they have to do, if they go from South America, America is here, South America is here, Canada is here. They can go around America to Canada and bring it in.
All right.
There are no, the restraint on the northern border of Canada is so relaxed. They just make so much noise and make so many TV shows and so many movies about how Mexicans are trying to break into your border. Shut the fuck up. There are more northern border violations with bigger loads of drugs and guns and weapons
From Canada.
from Canada into America. But nobody ever
Damn.
talks about this. No one.
I never heard. Literally, I thought Canada.
They make all the noise over there. It's like this
Yeah.
is where the noise is, but this is where the real action is happening. It's all deflection. It's all diversion.
It's just a diversion.
100% diversion.
Damn it. Look, so well now it makes sense why you didn't stay in Canada.
From Canada, I went to Nigeria for 8 months. I was like, fuck this shit. And then I came to Dubai for a little bit. And then I realized the only way I could really stay in Dubai is either I got a job or I just try to continue school. So I took my dropout degrees, my whatever was left in Canada, showed it to the school here in Middlesex. And Middlesex was like, yeah, this is okay. We'll throw you into second year. Dropped out again. And then from there, the rest is just my business career. That's history.
Cool. So like you said like college is not for me.
No. I mean, I gave it a lot of tries. You know, it's
Yeah, of course.
So
Like
I didn't just like.
I mean, by the
shut
way,
it out.
I'm also a dropout. I
There you go.
stayed almost 5 years in uni only to study the first 2 years of IT. So
There you go.
I was
studying IT as well.
I started my first. You studied IT as well. I studied IT and I started my first business when I was in uni.
There you go.
And I knew like, look, I have to choose between event management and media production or my studies. And I'm a dyslexic guy, so I cannot code. Impossible to code.
So funny
if you're
enough, I
dyslexic.
used to code. So coding, development, that's what I actually dropped out of school to go actually do.
All
They were
right.
teaching us Visual Basic and Microsoft with Excel. And what the fuck is this piece of shit you're teaching me right now? I am making money, advanced level in this. I can teach this in the class, for Christ's sake. Why am I sitting down here and being tossed around by this loser professor about this nonsense, useless information? I just said, fuck that.
So you're like a, how can I say? You have a core of a nerd, but you're like
Oh, I'm a big nerd.
You're like folded on like a Will Smith vibe.
I honestly, I really feel like I am probably the most social skilled nerd or geek you meet in your life. Because most geeks and nerds don't have social skills. They don't have
Yeah, they're
communication skills.
introverts,
And they're
but-
introverts, and I am an ambivert. I'm 100% introvert and I'm 100% extrovert. Not 50-50.
All right.
Throw me in the stadium with 12,000 people, I'm just as fine hosting those people as I am alone in my sweatpants, eating popcorn, watching a Netflix TV show alone. I'm just as comfortable either way.
So yeah, but I think as per my experience with people, because I'm really invested in psychology.
Yeah.
I think your core is an extrovert. Maybe you built the introvert
Very
part
possible.
while you're living. You like
Very possible.
You liked maybe coding, or you think a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to stay alone.
Yeah. I don't lose energy from dealing. Of course, everybody gets physically tired after a while, but I don't lose energy from actually supporting, vibing, connecting, and engaging with people.
Actually, you gain energy.
I gain a lot of energy from
Yeah, so that's
I
what I
absolutely do.
noticed with
Yeah,
you.
I
That's
do.
because
I
the
do.
difference it's about the mental energy. So an extrovert, he will his mental energy will get hyped when he is around people. When he's alone, he literally can be depressed.
Yeah.
an introvert is the opposite. But some people, they can either learn one way or the other.
Yeah.
You can find an introvert who can learn to be an extrovert,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
For sure.
But I think you're an extrovert because I remember like each time we see you at the life of the party, you're like
it's very
so,
easy for me to take over a party.
So you came back to Nigeria,
Okay.
tried school again. It didn't work.
No, I didn't try to go to school. I measured the dean's office in Canada and I told them I'm taking a 1-year break.
All right.
Sabbatical. I never went back. Came to Dubai for a vacation and it's been 14 years almost.
14 years, man.
Almost now. I've lost track. I think 13 to 14 years now.
Man,
It's like a joke. I believe this year is the 14th year. Yeah.
You speak Arabic by now.
I'm embarrassed to say no.
No, I can. Arabic is not an easy language.
I understand. I understand Arabic.
Yeah.
I understand the words. Of course, most of my close friends are Arab and Marathi, but I can get the joke. I can get a few words here and there, but I can't get the detailed, complex. My Russian is better than my Arabic.
Oh, I think I know why the Russian is better than
Because I studied Russian, not what you're about to say.
I thought it's the other thing. Anyways, okay, but when the crypto happened, how you started crypto? Because I feel like your beginnings in business, it was with crypto.
The reason why we got into crypto, not now you have all this to the moon bullshit, right? We just prayed for Bitcoin to reach $1. That was the moon. That was the ultimate goal. $1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin to 1 US. That was the goal, right? Nobody was thinking about $25,000 or $20,000. Now, some analysts might have thought about it, but the reason I got into Bitcoin wasn't because I understood the technology. I was some cryptogenic guru at the time. No, I only got into crypto because that was the only way you got free porn sites. You paid for free Microsoft Office hacks on the deep web, and you bought Microsoft Windows for discounts. And the hackers and the crackers only took crypto. That's the reason why I started mining Bitcoin. No other reason.
Because of access.
Because of access. And when you want to get on the deep web on the Onion Round tour, these guys only took crypto. That was it.
Okay.
And in Canada, weed was legal.
I remember.
So you could buy weed online. You can buy weed online with crypto.
I wanted to ask you because once you told me about how your story started with business, and I don't know if you want to share it on a podcast. It was, I want to say dodgy, but you started on the hacking side of the...
I'm not quite sure the Ministry of National Intelligence will be excited to hear that story, but...
Anyways, yeah.
But let's just say I was a very curious IT geek.
All right.
That's probably the best way to put it.
All right, so... Okay, anyways, crypto, you started with crypto for access and then you liked it, you saw it as a good investment.
Funny enough, not even. I lost my crypto wallets for many years and then I found it later. Otherwise, I would have spent all that money in 2011.
So it was God's plan.
It was God's plan.
Yeah.
And then I found it many years later, I think 2015 or so, after I moved some things. So when I left Canada, I left everything. My winter jackets, my suitcase. I left so many things there because I planned to return. At least in my head, I thought I would.
But
so I left so many things. So when a lot of things got sent to me, after I had a bunch of things sold, winter jacket, of course, I didn't send that back here, but a bunch of things I thought were relevant, some shoes, clothes, some personal items, I found my hard wallet in amongst those things, one of my small safe. And then I plugged it in and I found, holy shit, it's a different game now.
And it was like, there was luck involved in it. Like, luck.
Pure luck. No, 100%.
But like you bought it for access and then it went up and then,
I mean, it could have gone the other way around. In fact, as a matter of fact, we were so scared of crypto because at the time, Ross Albright was getting indicted. I don't know if you know him. He's the founder of Silk Road, the drugstore, the black, the deep web drugstore.
The guy who started, he did the first e-commerce for
drugs,
shady stuff.
Yes, which was called Silk Road at the time.
Silk Road,
and then that was before Agoda even came around, the competitor as well. I'm not even quite sure if he was involved or not. But he then had this problem where the FBI, NSA, CIA were all looking for him.
Yeah.
He was, I believe, Dutch guy. And when
he was not a US, he was from the US, no?
I believe it was Dutch. I think it was. I think it was Dutch. I'm not sure, but I think it was Dutch. Originally Dutch. Maybe he had
originally, I don't know, but he started from the US. I'm 100% sure.
No, he was based in the US for sure. But I think he was back and forth Europe and the US. But I know he was Dutch or Dutch. I think either Dutch or German. I'm not sure. I don't want to give wrong
information.
And
then he left the US and he started like roaming around the world from his computer. He was doing 100%. All of these things.
And then he had some personal issues where he got emotionally, stupid, and otherwise they probably never cut him. But again,
Yeah, I mean,
it's always humanity, you know. It's always one stupid mistake.
The story of the way he was caught, it was almost stupid. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
He
it
hired
was one.
somebody to do he hired a police officer to do some illegal dodgy thing. And
But he didn't do them. He was taking the money, but he was not doing.
The police officer was exactly. So the guy fucked him over.
And the guy who find him, he was not even from FBI. He was from a lower
police.
a lower police organization.
And then they came up to the library, I believe,
it was in the library,
campus,
yeah, exactly.
the laptop, and they quickly just pulled him out of his computer.
Because if he just closed his laptop,
Yeah.
gone.
It's
They
done.
have no proof.
Yes, it's absolutely done.
That they had to catch him with an open laptop. Only the,
and
that was the only
switched on with key and
exactly.
and then it was just incredible.
Bro, but this guy he did something that is sick.
And it's always some emotional bullshit that makes them people like that fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, if you trace back the real issue about him, I remember that's clearly more than his story, that he was he thought he's like a political, like how can I say it? Activist, yeah. He's like a misfit.
A little Robin Hood, if you may.
Yeah, and look what he's done. Like some people, sometimes social construct are good. Like there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a social construct. It's a social construct." But
They spare the conversation a new direction.
I mean, a social construct is good if you have a society that is planned and organized. It's better for you to like maneuver.
But it's human nature as well. There must be that mutated gene. There must be that deviation from the norm. It's whether we like it or not, in any perfect or flawless, whether it's computer codes, human behavior, there's always a bug in the system. There's a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And that is necessary.
For development.
Absolutely.
But you know, what I'm talking about is those people who say, no, the whole system is bad, we have to destroy it, and we don't need a social construct.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need routine. Those people are like, oh, I hate a routine.
For sure.
But routine is good. Social construct is good. Like, when you see that everything is organized.
100%.
Otherwise, you will not operate. Otherwise, that glitch will not happen, because
for sure.
a glitch will top up.
It has to break out of something.
Exactly.
So the systems have to be there for it to exist.
We are in a box and someone is breaking the box wider.
Yeah.
But it's better than there's no box and everything is a chaos.
We need the box. Human beings are fucking dumb. Human beings are very stupid species of people, of things that have walked this earth. And without law, order, regulations, structures, constructs, we will be eating each other's fingers.
Thank you.
That is the truth. Like Steve Jobs said, people are too dumb to know what they want until they get until it's fed to them.
True. Like we don't know what we want for a long time. Yeah. Some people, they spend all their life.
Because we're emotional beings. And it's not really, I don't want to call it a bad or a good thing. I will say that we're dumb. I would stick to that word.
But like, who's smarter than us if we're dumb?
There are a few of us
What
that
do you
are
mean by
smarter than
dumb?
others. The level of awareness that we lack is appalling. Of ourselves, of others. There's a reason why emotional intelligence, psychological intelligence, social intelligence is now the most critical thing. For a very long time, we've just stuck ourselves on intelligence quotients as the measurement of someone's value. And then you realize that is the most useless bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, people with emotional intelligence and social intelligence,
They rule the world. They rule the world.
Yeah.
And then they go hire the IQ guys to come create bullshit around their own construct and ideologies.
Exactly. And IQ, like, look, I respect the IQ test.
Yeah.
But
I don't.
The IQ test, it will measure your intelligence.
Based on somebody else's measurement scale.
Or it will test only one side of your intelligence. Because, you know, for example,
Very linear.
Someone who's creative, he might fuck up in this
fail
test.
that woefully.
But
somebody who's autistic,
Yeah.
dyslexic, fucked.
Yeah,
Failed. When
I
it
mean-
comes to that test, the test would just make them look like they're bad.
Exactly.
But then they're absolute geniuses in a certain other segment.
Like architecture, anything 3D, or even like, you know, there is anticipation. There is a lot of things that are related to intelligence. One of them is anticipation. Some people, they can anticipate things.
Yes.
And those people, you cannot measure them with an IQ test. Maybe they will fail.
Yes.
Because the way they see the world and they
patterns
can
they
read the
recognize.
patterns, it's totally different than someone
Clairvoyance
analytic.
and instinct.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So those people, maybe there is no test that we can create that can crack their intelligence.
No. And the reality is, when you really think about it, as human beings, we do a very good job at limiting ourselves.
Yeah.
Education, institutional knowledge, IQ tests, measurement based on doctorate degree, all this absolute horseshit. And when we do all these things, we now force it as a norm on others, and then others take that ideology like it's scripture.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, God came down,
Like our
and
parents.
put it, exactly.
Our
so
parents.
the reality is, when you really sit down and you want to really question the absolute fabric of society, you have to also understand very well that the very core of society's breakout is the same stratosphere or the same direction that puts it back in its cage. The very core that makes us lock ourselves into a cage and desire us, I call it the pendulum hyperbole.
All right.
When you are desiring to break out, when you become free, you desire the opposite. It's the way we're built.
You're right in
It's
a way.
the way we're built. Black people want to fucking bleach. White people want to fucking tan. Curly hair want to fucking straighten their hair. Straight hair want curly hair.
True.
Now, I'm just giving the most basic, most simple, relatable nonsense, but that is the very core of humanity, the desire for novelty. We would always, if everybody was in jail, we're going to then desire a breakout. If everybody was free, you find people putting themselves back inside a cage.
Actually, that's what we're doing. What you just said is actually what we're doing. We are all free, but we created this indoor lifestyle. We are all
for sure.
like, we have to put Dubai as an exception in summer.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, exactly.
But we are spending more time indoor than outdoors, and I don't know why. We are created to be outdoors.
Because we have created a very digital world. Now, I believe, like the Emerald Tablet says, as above, so below, as within, so without.
Yeah.
Now, that's just the law of equilibrium. The law of equilibrium has existed from the very beginning, in my opinion, of time. It probably predates time.
Yeah, it's duality. It's before existence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before existence, exactly, right? If there's a beginning, there's supposed to be an end. But then if there is no beginning, there is no time. So how did beginning begin?
So you're just tapping in the subjects that I like to talk about and think about and search about.
But it's true, right? When you really think about it. Because
But how we're going to crack this
Yeah.
is just we have to come back into, because when I said duality,
yeah,
it means there is singularities.
absolutely.
So
Supposed to be singularities.
if I'm going to ask you what's if you can name a singularity except God, can you name one? You think about it.
I don't want to piss off a lot of very religious people.
No,
But-
because God is a
No,
singularity.
I agree. But what I'm going to say now is, it's subject to interpretation. What could predate God?
We cannot. It's
We
the
can't
phrase.
even go that far in our minds.
The phrase it's wrong. I will tell you why it's wrong.
Tell me.
Because when you say what predates God,
Yeah.
we are involving time.
Exactly, which I said that on purpose to bring to the fact that time was created as a
Exactly.
measurement scale.
And you just answered the questions I told you. The question I told you. I told you, name me another singularity.
Yeah.
Time, it is a singularity.
I wouldn't even call time a singularity. I personally don't believe it is. And this is a very interesting conversation. You know why? I believe time was put as an illusion to trap us in a spectrum of, or in a range of existence. Think about it.
Put by whom?
By probably God, what we will call God, the ultimate being, the most singular entity. Whether scientists, whether you're not whether you're an atheist or not, whether you like it or not, something put us here. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but this is
Period.
It's illogical that there is no creator.
Every single thing, every single thing that we chase, every single thing science chases to prove or disprove, goes all the way back to prove there was something before all of us.
But you know how to make it closer because there's a lot of people, they cannot see that. How to make closer to them the concept of God, because we cannot talk about God. We can talk about the concept of God.
100%, which can be
God,
very interpreted in many different ways. Absolutely, I agree with you.
And we're going to come back to time being a singularity.
Yeah.
So singularities, they don't exist. They are
Technically.
they are pillars of existence. So
Yeah.
existence is within those pillars.
Correct.
Which means if there is no time,
Correct.
there is no existence.
Yeah. This is why I've. And
But if there is no existence, there will be time. There is a flow of
now
things.
this is where I actually don't agree, and that's why I refuse to place time in singularity. I place time below the singularity. I put time within an actual box that was created. Because when you think about it, time has two components or three components: beginning, during, and ending. Or if you want to make it two, beginning and ending.
Actually, well, I see how the way you see it.
Right.
But it's from more of a, if I'm gonna
But
make
I know what you mean.
from a quantum physics to normal
Exactly.
literature, let me tell you.
Okay.
Time, it's a past.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a future that is being converted into past by a cursor that we call present. So you have a point that is converting
You hit
future into past.
Which means
this is
it's
time.
perspective and subjective.
It is subjective.
And this is why the one singularity I'll agree with you is only God. And at least the ideology of God,
Yeah.
that is probably the only singularity. Because when you think about it, if time existed by itself, meaning
No,
time,
it didn't exist by
No,
itself.
I'm just saying as an example, right? If you put time as an independent object or an independent entity, then technically you could almost even argue that time predates God, which is why I refuse to call it a singularity, because time in itself it had to be invented by God.
Yeah, but you know what's the
Right?
problem here?
But I know what you mean, though.
Look, the thing is, because my journey, I was a believer in God.
Okay.
Because, a believer is somebody who believes and he have a voice inside his head and maybe it's not. That's
Yeah.
a believer.
Okay.
But someone who don't believe, someone who knows, I will not call it.
I get what you mean.
I don't not know. I would say aware.
When
Someone
you
who's
believe, you don't
aware.
have something.
Yeah.
When you have something, you don't need to believe. It's there.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
When you are aware or you
Are
know
you a
that
man?
there is
Yes,
God.
I'm a man. I don't
Yeah.
believe in man. You're a man.
Exactly.
Simple. Yeah.
So how I realized that is by thinking of existence itself, because
Okay.
we think everything is within existence,
Okay.
which will it's like a rabbit hole. You will never find God.
Zero. There's no, bro.
Because
It's
you're-
that hole never closes.
Yeah, it's like materialistic. You have to step out of existence,
Yes.
which means everything materialistic, and then you will start seeing things
But
differently.
here's the beautiful thing:
Uh,
we don't have the mental or cognitive capacity to think that far.
I mean,
I've sat down and I've tried.
but
What I mean is, we will never find any answers.
but actually,
Those questions will stay questions.
that's what we talk about it. Like, when there is a dogma or there is like a sort of box and
Yeah.
someone try to push
Break it out a little bit.
you have to push it.
Believing is seeing, not the other way around. We've been told when you see, you believe. The truth is not true. When you believe, it's when
You
you
will-
see.
Bro, thank you.
Red car. Let's think of the red car concept.
Yeah, you
Your
will-
neighbor and 50 other neighbors have always had the red car.
Yeah.
But you never had, and for me, believing is drawing attention and energy to.
Yeah.
When you believe in something and it's as good as, how do we see people in ways that they're not? How do we see and experience things in ways that they're not? Meaning, to talk about your existence as well, stepping out and creation of existence and all that, meaning we can create and alter our reality. And the beautiful thing about that is we actually have evidence of it, where when you call people who are psychologically challenged,
Yeah.
right, people who you can call lunatics or psychos or crazy people, not because just use the word crazy, real clinically
Diagnosed as
diagnosed
crazy.
as clinically crazy, their mind has snapped beyond every single measurement scale norm that we have used as a measurement scale of the normal reality. And now we call them crazy because if somebody comes to you in Russia and everybody speaks Russian, and then somebody comes from Finland speaking Finnish, you look at him like something is wrong with him.
Like he's speaking a
Like,
he's like gibberish. That's gibberish.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe crazy is 100% crazy. As much as, yes, we have to, because no matter how we look at it, we cannot deviate too far away.
By the way,
right?
crazy people are known to be like highly active. They have
Absolutely.
high
We
mental
haven't found a
activity.
way to tap into what is the center of their cause and how to apply them more.
Yeah.
I have found nearly every autistic child to be brilliant in something.
Yeah.
Forget about autism, okay? Let's talk about normal people. I put you in a music orchestra.
Yeah.
You fall asleep. Example, I put you in an art room. You fall asleep. I put you in front of a Marvel movie and you are awake for days. And vice versa, right?
You binge watch 12 hours.
Yes, 12 hours. You find somebody who goes into a music orchestra, say an opera, and their soul is lit, they're emotional, they're crying.
Yeah.
You put the same person in a cinema to watch Superman versus Batman and they're snoring.
It depends on what they like.
He really does. And that's exactly why, as to come back to exactly what you said earlier, the scale of measurement is broken. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that whole idea, in fact, the whole ideology of trying to measure is bullshit. We cannot measure anything. We don't have the God level capacity to understand every possible variation that there is, or infinitesimal misnomer that there is, to say now we have the formula to measure, because there are billions
of dimensions
that we can never ever be in that. And it's quite narcissistic and egotistical that we think we can fucking play God and make this little rule and box and this tape that everyone must measure based on how that tape goes. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean...
And that fuck you is to every single institutional structure that has decided it's going to play God, because it always fails.
Yeah, and in the end of the day, you can measure intelligence by a life experience, someone's choices in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a measurement scale, but it's like a proof.
You can align with it.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
And you find people who were like, people who do well in IQ, let's say, in their lives, they are...
Bad relationships, whatever reason. Just a random example.
Yeah. I mean, people like, I can tell you, my father, I'm sure he's high in his IQ. He's a physicist.
Yeah.
He was in the Algerian army, and he was a physicist and electrician.
Yeah.
He was the one who operated the tanks.
Yeah.
And he is so smart with math and equations and all of that.
Yeah.
But he's socially a little bit awkward with people. He's like, he prefers to stay alone. And, really, people who understand other people, they're also smart. Like, if you want to make money, live a good life, create something, you need to understand people more than things. To a large
degree.
So it's like we complete each other.
Absolutely. And if I have to choose, I would always choose having the people skills over just being the geek. When you're an extreme thinker, that's good for you. You have to be an extreme influencer. And people who have, like we talked about earlier, the emotional intelligence, social intelligence, they have the capacity to... I don't really like the word manipulate because it has a very negative connotation to it.
Yeah, influence.
But the reality is influence. Yeah. They have the ability to... And the most powerful influence is not, I'm taking from you, you can't do anything about it. The most powerful influence is, we're both winning.
Yeah, so
that's the most powerful. Yeah. It's a win-win for me and you. You, my guy, are getting this. I am getting this. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the best way to live.
And that is the most effective. And this is where the most effective politicians, business people, salespeople are able to thrive. They walk that line, because nobody sits down just rooting for somebody who just took stuff from them. Yeah. You're going to make enemies along the way. You are only having friends, fans, and audience and supporters when they feel they've benefited from their interaction with you.
Actually, I want to, talking about influences and being an influencer, and also about your business, because it's a point that I want to come back to. I want to talk about it now. Even though we started this very philosophical subject that I love.
I love that so much,
but, let me just...
I enjoy that we actually can talk about that.
Yeah, because I can talk about this for hours. But look, first of all, I see you're doing a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
And I know even though I know you love it,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
But it has a business motivator
Yes.
behind it.
Yes.
It's motivated by
In the
business
beginning,
as
it was
well.
just for fun, just chit-chatting. And now it's, yes.
Now it's also for business.
Yes.
You're doing you're branding yourself for your business.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the best ways, if not the best way.
I agree.
Nowadays.
For now, this is the best way I can imagine.
Yeah. So how did you have the idea? Is this something that someone told you? I was like, or you were noticing and you said like, look, people who are doing podcasts and they're doing self-branding and creating content online, they are selling their product or service.
Mm-hmm.
Was it something you noticed or someone gave you the idea?
So when I kicked off just making my own point and shoot videos where I put my iPhone on a tripod, bought a Boya microphone and just shot stuff, I came to the realization that I have the actual acumen for speaking.
Oh, it's very obvious. On you.
Right? I mean,
You
I've
charisma.
always known, thank you. I've always known I was a talker, but then when I played back my videos, I realized, holy shit, if I was lost, I want to watch my videos. Now, that's not me tooting my own horn or stroking my own back or patting my own back. But reality is I realized I actually have, and again, not just me telling myself, the feedback I got from people saying, man, you have simplified. Number one thing, especially in the Crypto Genie days, you have oversimplified what we thought was one of the most complex things, and you made it so easy and accessible and plausible now.
So you find the value you're
I
adding.
found the value in that. But again, I took a break after that. And then I met my boy, Fahad Kaleem.
Bro, you're the second person telling me about Fahad.
Bro, Fahad is a
Yeah.
fucking ninja when it comes to reaching into what you have right there and letting you know that what you've been trapping inside of you, as long as, of course, you also possess the skill of the gift of gab,
Of course.
right? When you add that together, you can really portray a huge part of yourself to the world with this beautiful weapon that we have called, I don't call it a tool. Social media is a fucking weapon. And whether we like it or not, it is the single greatest gift that we have today. I made a video a few weeks ago saying in 2024, you have no fucking excuse. Information is free. Implementation of that information is free. Access to the information is free. There's no excuse. The only person that can complain in today's world is the person who has no access to electricity, internet, or any kind of YouTube video.
Done, yeah. If you don't have
How to make a bomb at home with my mother's kitchen equipment. And you will find videos about it today.
don't do it. But yes.
I mean, do it and find out what happens to you.
It's something probably we were talking about Silk Road just earlier. So look, it's very okay. So Fahad, he influenced a lot of people because I had
He showed the light of what's inside a lot of people.
I did a podcast with Zoheb, a realtor on Harley.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite people in the field, and he also told me the same thing. He told me I met Fahad, or Fahad contacted him, and he showed him all this, new way of creating. And I really want to do a podcast with Fahad, like a serious podcast. I want to shed the light on his personality, because I know he's always being the comedian.
He's a maestro, he's a mastermind when it comes to that. He has understood.
But I want to see his, he understood. He used
the power of
satire
attention. That currency called attention. He has understood how to. If the central bank is printing money, he has understood how to print attention.
Actually, I want to talk to you about this. The new currency, because I want to tell you this about crypto becoming a new currency.
Yes.
But actually, the real new currency is viewership, is views and audience. That's a new currency. I mean, if you have 3 million followers on Instagram, you cannot be broke.
Bro, I have actually seen, touch wood, I've always been doing other things and trying to stay afloat, get my bills paid, and live the life I dream of, right? Touch wood, I've been able to do that. But I've seen my life drastically, exponentially get a positive impact from the moment I started doing social media to today. Till today, I get one of the things that Fahad always told me was when he and I were talking about collaborations, talking to influencers, Tony, man. And I don't want to toot my own horn. It's Tony, you have the ability to become the influencer you want to collaborate with. Keep making your video. We did the first video, went viral. The first podcast went viral. Second podcast went viral. Then I stopped for months.
But you do
Set it all
long
again.
format
Only short form. So we do the long form and then we clip them out. I have the long form.
Yeah.
But to be honest, a lot of shit I say is so politically incorrect. I don't think I should ever post a long form.
Actually, yeah, but you need
I have very
to
provocative
no,
personality and opinions.
But I think for me, what I'm doing, I'm focusing on YouTube. My goal is not the short, because I see everybody doing the shorts. I'm doing the shorts because my friend, he was like, look, Walid, I know you want to do long format, but I do some shorts.
And
it's
the
okay.
shorts actually will drag attention to your long form.
Exactly.
From next week. So this week, I'm actually structuring out my long form. I'm going to take pretty much all the short form I've done.
You have to do it.
The stuff where I've talked about politics or religion or said things in a way that is subject to very negative misinterpretation, I'll cut that out.
No, sometimes you need to cut it because you don't have any way about to
sure.
go around it.
No way. Some of those things. Yeah.
You have to blip some parts because
absolutely.
it's obvious we know what you cannot say and what you can say. It's obvious.
Yeah.
If you say something provocative, you just take it out.
Yeah.
If you see something that you can just blip it, why not? Like when you say the FUCK, you just blip it
100%.
for the sake of the
funny
algorithm.
thing, I don't even blip my fuck anymore.
No, on Instagram it's okay.
Yeah.
On YouTube though, it's not.
On YouTube you must. Correct. I
because
agree with
I'm focused on YouTube.
Yeah.
I want to
and
do
they're quite
a lot.
strict with that. Yeah.
And the reason why I chose you as well, because I knew I can dive into those deep. Even though we need another session one day to talk about those deep conversations for long format.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3 hours a podcast, it can be watched by millions if the subject is deep and new.
Yeah, and engaging enough.
But let's come back to your business.
Okay.
Okay, now you met Fahad, you find a good marketing way to do it, which is working for you, I'm sure. But why you choose business setup? Because I know you have a lot of applications, web applications and all that. But how you stumble upon starting a business setup company?
Technology was always my core. That was my background. I used to be a developer and then built a development company, all that service client. That's what scaled me from even school when I was dropping out to being able to offer the services, right? My tech acumen is really high. But then after before even my podcast last year, 2023, I was doing business setup passively. Not as crazy, not as intensely, no marketing, strictly word of mouth. From the Enterprise Island as a person refer. I don't know if you know this. So Enterprise Island is a government wing of the commercial enterprise wing of the Irish embassy or the Irish diplomacy wing that allows or supports Irish companies that want to move to different parts of the world. Right? They have the Enterprise Island in the UAE, in America, in Germany, you name it. I consulted for them and helped a lot of the companies set up here. That was a nice little structure as well. This is how many years ago? I can't remember how long ago that was. This is before COVID. Beyond that point as well, I realized that a lot of the clients that we were building apps for, websites for, platforms for, helping them develop the actual idea from start to finish, I was referring them their business setup to a bunch of other people until I started doing it myself. But again, very passively because tech was my focus. After I did my podcast last year and I saw the performance of the videos, the tech did pretty good. But you know what I realized did so much better? Talking about Dubai.
Yeah, you love talking about Dubai.
Oh, I fucking love this city. This country as a whole.
This is a very strong common point between us.
This country like crazy.
Look, I love the country, but let's be honest, Dubai, it's till now, I'm here 8 years. Till now, I'm mesmerized about it. Like Dubai, till now, I love it.
I consider Dubai as I consider the whole UAE as a relay team, a 400-meter relay team. Dubai was the first runner.
Yeah.
But the entire team wins.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
and it's gotten to the point right now where I know I'll tell a lot of people, especially my local friends in Fujairah, Kuwaim, Abu Dhabi, like, show Dubai, show Taba. Why can't you just mention Fujairah? I'm like, bro, listen. Dubai is the name Dubai is now a brand.
It's a big brand, man.
It's more popular and the most popular in the country. It's more popular than UAE. When you say these words, and again, because the target audience is not this region, the target audience is showcasing what this region has to offer to foreigners. And I have to speak it in their language. So when they hear Dubai, like, yeah, I know Dubai. Abu Dhabi, a lot of people know Abu Dhabi, but Dubai is at the top. Kuwain, nobody even knows there's an emirate called Kuwain in the UK.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's a perfectly good place to speak. But the reality is, if I now go and say UAE, I now get diluted in the level of attention it'll grab.
Yeah,
what is UAE square?
So you use
So
Dubai.
I use the hook. It's
The
merely
hook
a
is
hook.
Dubai, yeah.
The reality is
When we say Dubai, we mean the UAE.
we mean UAE, guys, right? And when I use Dubai as the hook, I now drag people into the country.
True.
Because when you come in now, you're in the country. There's no borders.
Yeah.
So you're here to benefit Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Fujairah, Sharjah, everywhere.
And I think the majority of people worldwide in the globe, they think Dubai is a country.
They think Dubai is a country,
yeah.
bro.
Dubai is a city.
Even during
in
my
a country.
podcast, I've made certain blips and mistakes where I've called Dubai a country.
Yeah,
I myself done
yeah,
that.
because in our head.
But again, it's just a tiny lingo.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a Mandela effect.
It really is. You know,
yeah.
so that's by that.
When you were
really
talking
sparked,
about Dubai,
and then
start
that
coming.
sparked. But again, I was also at a very sensitive point in my life, and a lot of people don't know about this in my personal life, my romantic personal life.
All right.
Where I was
I
going
like
through,
when someone says something special in my podcast.
and I was going through quite a bit of strain across my personal life, professional life. A lot of changes were happening. What seemed negative in the beginning and then turned out to be positive, because then it just, like they say, adversity shows a man who he really is.
All right.
And when you go through all that bullshit, all the problems, you really find out
Who you are.
it introduces you to yourself.
Yeah.
And then you realize a lot of things change and you start to desire certain things over certain things. At the time, I was running 6 different companies and I made up my mind and I said, enough.
Yeah,
I
too
am
much.
overstretched, underaccomplished, underperforming. I don't even feel like I belong in half of those places. I don't think I want to be there. And then I made up my mind and I say, you know what? All my life, I tried to be a fucking octopus. It's time for me to just try one thing. And now, taking into account, I had a very nice conversation with my boy in America about this. Should I go for the tech strictly? Because we launched the SaaS projects, right? And then should I go for Dubai? And when he and I had the conversation, it was like, bro, you already know the answer to that question. You know your solution is Dubai. And let's be honest, if now look into actual demand, the commodity that is Dubai is in much higher demand than anything else. People want to know more about Dubai than they want about building apps.
Yeah.
There are more people that will move to Dubai than apps that will be launched. Reality of it, right?
Yeah, so
and the bottom line is you are now you're providing a service and a solution to an ever-growing, disappointed, unhappy part of the rest of the world, that Dubai now becomes the actual Panadol for them.
But you know why? I think I can relate to you in that, because we all fall in love with the story of Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
It was one of my dreams to create something like that. And I think because we are from an IT background, we have this obsession about creating something.
Correct.
Even though I have 2 obsessions, I have obsessions about movies. I
Okay.
had the same thing 4 years ago, and I choose cinema because it's what I loved since childhood.
Yeah.
So I give up the tech side.
Yeah.
I wanted to create some tech. Like I wanted to do a shisha delivery, a web application.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Screw it. Not now.
Yeah, it's not what I want to do. I think what happened to you is like you didn't give up your dream of creating your own tech. Maybe you postponed it. Maybe you can do something better for the meantime,
For sure.
for you to do what you want to do in the future.
100%. And I realize as well, you see, the tech section is the introvert in me. When you really think about it,
Yeah,
the Dubai is the extrovert in me.
true.
And that's what we're talking about, the adversity that we encountered, or I encountered in my personal life, that cluster of bullshit happening. I believe that was when adversity revealed who I was to me. And let me know, bro,
Yeah.
you belong with helping people more than just building systems.
One day they will complete each other. I'm sure about it.
Oh,
And
I'm
mark
very
my
sure.
words.
And if not, technology, in fact, now I'm about to build a mobile app, which is going to be the very first company that's doing business consultation that actually has a proper mobile app where people can actually manage and run the services through that app. Nobody else has it.
Actually, there is applications like this, but I don't think they're very user
Not properly.
friendly. Yeah.
I think Virtues and one of these other companies that have the
Yeah.
stuff like that, but these are very petty, cheap looking things. No offense to Virtues, of course.
I mean, I started 2 companies in my life. The license is media production in Algeria, media production, event management. They're both under the same license.
Yeah.
And when I started business, I wanted to do both in the same time.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine who was older than me and more experienced was like, Willie, the mistake you can make is to do 3-4 things at the beginning. You just start in one thing
Absolutely.
And then you jump to the other one.
You know, if it's so funny, 7 years ago, my mentor is a billionaire, is English. He owns over 200 companies now. And when he and I spoke about this, he told me the goal is to focus on one thing and then get that to a super enough place that you can now allow yourself split.
Exactly.
But I wanted to be Mr. Octopus, the black octopus in the ocean, and try to do everything. But the reality is it doesn't work. And even till now, as I focused, faded away all the other things, delegated as much as I can away, and the stuff that I couldn't delegate away, I literally put on the back shelf or shut it down. And I am making way more impact, way more potential financial progress in my life now, focusing on one single thing.
It's much better.
Than I am. And the beautiful thing about this is it's never really just one single thing, right? It really is one thing at a time, right? Where in the reality is, okay, Kamal Business Hub, being the business setup consultant with the visas, all of these things, Kamal Business Hub now offers way more than just business. It wouldn't just open the company license and then tell you, assalamu alaikum, bye-bye.
Yeah.
We get the company for you.
There's like
get your-
ramifications.
Oh, absolutely. Get your visa for you. Two of my very dear clients now, they're about to move back to Dubai. They were here a few weeks ago. They were meant to move back to Dubai. It moved to Dubai in 2025, and now they're moving back after 3 weeks. They're getting their dog to come here. I'm helping them with the dog through Emirates Airline. I'm helping them with what daycare the dog is going to go to in the UAE. I've realized that I was born to cultivate and nurture relationships.
So what you're doing is not only setting up businesses.
No,
You're
no.
setting. You can set up
Setting
families.
up a life.
Yeah, it's.
Setting a life
I
up
think
here.
they call these people. It's a job. They call them relocators.
Yeah. So relocation experts.
Yeah.
And the reality is, it's gotten to
And actually, it's sorry, I interrupted you.
Sure.
It's a section that is related to HR.
You can call, there's so
Yeah.
many. So at this point now, I'm cutting across so much because I'm helping people now open their company, get their license, rent the apartment through Kamal Real Estate, rent an office.
You can add recruit.
Absolutely. And because I'm building such a UAE-centric social media presence, it doesn't take much for me to get the attention from the local or international community regarding the UAE to help clients do stuff. And now I'm actually now building this out to a big, I'll give you a little example, the power of focus. I have enough focus now to few months ago, I looked at my invoice and I didn't like the design because it wasn't well done. It was looking too cheap. I looked at my business proposal document and I'm like, if somebody sent this to me, I will toss it away. But I never had the emotional and creative focus to see those things.
Because you were everywhere.
I was everywhere and I was 1% here, 1% here.
Yeah.
And when I got into 100%, I sat down for 9 hours in one day, trying out all kinds of Canva templates, all kinds of things, platforms, tools, QuickBooks, all this shit. And I came up with a 5-pager proposal, probably one of the simplest business proposals anybody would ever receive. And those 5 pages, 2 are cover pages, front and back. One is the benefits of Kamal. Second one is Q&A, frequently asked questions. Third is pricing, duration, procedure. And I told myself, being the person I am, if I want to look at a document, what do I want to see? Do I want to see 100-pager bullshit terms and conditions? Nobody cares
wants
about
to
that
see
shit.
that, yeah.
Nobody, they will just toss it away. And in fact, that would even slow down your process with decision making.
Or I think it's a stage that come later.
For sure.
Like after.
For sure.
Yeah,
When you,
then
so,
you can.
so after, exactly. Yeah. After the approval is done, engagement letter is sent, then now legal terms and conditions.
Yeah, then
These are
they
just
will
due process.
They bring their HR. They bring.
Absolutely. At
They
that
can
point,
sit and read those
again
things.
and again, depending on the complexity of who I'm dealing with.
Of course.
And now I have random people. I was talking to a guy at 2 a.m. in the morning today. Right, today is the 11th of April. At 2 a.m., 11th of April, I just got back home from spending time with some friends. This guy texted me. I answered his message. He was most impressed with the fact that I answered him fast, and I understood his problem as fast as I answered him. He was like, "Man, I've had 4 calls of 4 consultants. 3 of them wanted 3 Zoom calls. The other guy was asking me questions like, you have solved my problem in 5 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes.
By 11 a.m., he had transferred the fucking payment.
I think people, they go through Zoom and they go through this bureaucracy because
yes.
they are not very competent.
They don't get it.
Yeah,
And the
but if someone is competent enough, he can answer directly.
100%. I don't want to. No offense to business level consultants in Dubai, but the reality is, you and I know 99% of them are just employees.
Yeah,
They're salary people in the nice, beautiful suits. Some of them look really good, but just they're clueless. They're beautiful idiots. Because at the end of the day, they look so good and they have no idea what they're talking about. Now, I come with my nearly 14 years of experience doing business in Dubai, all my trial and error, all the mistakes I made, all the fuck-ups I made, all the fines I've paid between free zone, mainland, knowing what's better, what's worse. And then I pour that into a person and they can feel the difference immediately.
And they can know that they will save time.
Oh my
more than
God.
maybe money, time is more priceless
Oh my
as well.
God.
Yeah.
You know, I take a lot of pride in that. But again, I'm not
Time always come back in the conversation.
It really does. It's funny because I never sell anything. I just have conversations with my clients.
Yeah, I mean, this is how business is done. I mean, this is the...
They can feel the natural genuineness of it.
Yeah, I mean, businesses in the beginning, if you know the story of Starbucks, the idea was creating a venue for people and giving them coffee.
Yeah.
You know, the coffee was the complementary thing. Anyways,
So funny.
but you know, because I want to come back a little bit about the influencer part and about Dubai.
Okay.
Because you know, we both love Dubai.
Yes.
But there is some things that are really, they're a little bit appalling. First of all, talking about influencers, there's a lot of people who are very fake. In Instagram,
Human nature, everywhere you go.
yeah, no, but like in Dubai, it's too much. In Dubai, it's people. I feel like some people think that they have to be fake in order to be accepted.
So I have a theory. I have a phenomena for that. You see, wherever there's a potential of extreme competition, there's potential of extreme desire to be competent.
Yeah,
That is what. So it's purely human nature what you're describing. There are many parts of the world. Go to LA, it's the same. Go to New York, it's the same.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
even
know
worse.
in LA,
Right? Population, density, how condensed the population is can be crazy. The reality is, because Dubai is so competitive, Dubai is very shiny. And we'll talk about this, I think one of the old videos I made it, Dubai is all bling, bling, bling. And because of that, people want to come here. And Dubai is really a place where it is actually possible to make it fast.
yeah,
If anywhere else in the world has this, which I think you can count in one hand how many places in the world that any young person that doesn't have too much of anything can go there and actually fly. Forget this stupid American dream they sell on social media and all this nonsense.
the American dream is dead.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It was never even existed in the first place, right? The bottom line is the American dream was work in the factory, get paid, go home, fuck your wife, make more kids, get more mortgage, and go home and repeat. That's it. The bottom line now is in Dubai, you can actually now accomplish anything. Do you know how many times where in my Bentley I get flashed by a Bugatti? And I'm feeling fucking funky with myself. And the Bugatti's like, get your fucking slow car out of the way.
You know, the limits are higher.
Bro.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, now, anybody reading that might be distracted by the fact that I'm throwing these brands. It's not about the brands. Bentley, BMW, Mazda, it doesn't change who Tony is.
Yeah.
The fact remains is the potential of what's possible.
Yeah.
And what is normal. No matter how far you want to go.
For us in Dubai, Bentley, it's a...
Are you kidding me?
It's a car.
It's a Lexus. It's a regular car, you know? The possibility is...
But it's still a good car. Come on.
I mean...
come on.
It works. It works very well, you know? At least everybody knows there's a possibility anything is possible. It's not abnormal when you think about certain things.
I know,
in
but
Dubai.
my problem with this is that it's giving Dubai... It's something that is giving Dubai somehow a bad name. It's like... for the image of Dubai, there's people who come and they pose as like they have, and you find him like he rented the car, he maybe have a fake Rolex, or I don't know, he
whatever.
I don't know how he got it from a friend in a yacht. He was like, I just want to take a picture with it. You know what I mean? And these people are somehow, I don't know if you heard of this guy, Mr. Good Luck.
No.
Brother, you don't know about this guy.
I'm the worst, by the way, when it comes to social media.
Yeah,
I am the actual worst on social media.
When you're a creator, you're rarely a consumer. But I understand that. But there is this guy called Mr. Good Luck. I don't know if you saw it. Mr. Good Luck, you saw it? So this guy, literally...
Where's he from?
I think he's Russian.
Okay.
He lives here. And he have buckets. He puts reels with buckets of dollars. I'm telling you, dollars by the thousands, like, and $100 bills, yeah?
Mr. Good Luck or Mr. Thank You?
Mr. Good Luck, yeah? Mr. Good Luck.
Really?
Look,
I think he lives in City Walk, right? In Blue Waters.
Blue Waters.
Ah, I know him.
Brother,
He's
he
with a girl all the time.
Like he make a reel and he have like
Yeah,
tons
yeah.
of money behind him.
the printed money, the fake money. It's
Fake money.
It's
Actually,
costume money.
I need that money for a short movie. Please, I want to
You
buy
can buy
that.
it for $10,000. You can buy $10 or $100 million.
Brother, I need it for a movie.
You can.
Anyways,
I'll check with a friend of mine who.
Please, yes.
It's a prop money.
help me with
No
that.
problem.
So basically, what he's doing, he's going with his car. Oh, do you know me? Do you follow me on Instagram? Yeah, take. And I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
You know, I don't associate that with Dubai at all. I associate it strictly with human nature. Maybe it's Tonny, and I have the ability to segregate and separate them. And the
But
reason
do you think it's a good? Is it?
I think it's human
Is it
nature.
something good?
I don't think too much of good or bad. By the way, it might seem very questionable for a lot of people.
Okay, what
I
about right
think-
or wrong? Is it right?
I honestly, so there are a lot of things. Of course, we can clearly identify what is right and what's wrong in a lot of places, but stuff like that is subjective. And the reason why, for me, it's something is wrong if it harms somebody else. That's when the wrong is very clear, right? In the regards of somebody doing that out of, say, frivolity or out of, say, creative freedom, whatever that is, if it doesn't harm somebody else, I have no real problem with it. Now, here's where I think it gets interesting. The reality is, people like that are the loudest on social media. People like that are not.
He have made the millions,
But
bro.
ask yourself, why are they the most successful on social media? Because it's human nature. We desire that bullshit.
We like to watch
No matter what we talk about. Listen, you and I know that there are more
It's
Nissan
not desire,
patrols.
we're like more.
We're
it's
attracted to
like
that shit. It's
attracted.
so you
yeah.
cannot blame the problem or create the problem without blaming the causality.
Yeah, it's about
Without
causality.
us consuming the problem, there will be no problem.
True.
That motherfucker is not going to get famous if people did not click and like and share and react and engage.
Because
that's
it's,
reality.
It's strange, bro.
So when you think about it now, right, you know very well, there are more Nissan Patrols than there are Ferraris. There are more Lexus than there are even 7 Series or S-Classes, right?
True, yeah.
I always tell people, Dubai is known for the bling bling, but Dubai is all about choices. If you want to have Cipriani for breakfast, Gaia for lunch, Zuma for dinner, baba, enjoy. But if you want to go to Sato Falcon for dinner, Ustadi for lunch, bro, you can as well for a fraction of the price. You are in a high-end retail industry, right?
Yeah.
How many people go to Zara and how many go to LV? Zara sells more than LV.
Make more money
You
than
can't
LV.
compare it,
Yeah.
right? But the reality is, where does everybody make all the noise and attention? LV. So because there's attention on one part does not mean the other part doesn't exist. And I agree with you. Instead of me calling those kind of things right or wrong, I would love to say, let's complement that by showing the complementary side. I want, and again, I had this conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. I want to start going to spots, regular spots, and really compare shit. And not just compare, I want to show, bro, you can actually chill very comfortably with a very, very normal means of living. We don't have to have $1 million to survive. Very few people actually can afford a Rolls Royce in the world. Less than 1% of Dubai's population has Rolls Royces or Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Forget about even with the big car rental companies that have hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
That is still a minuscule, miniature
Compared to
population
the Toyotas.
compared to the Toyotas and the Land Cruisers and Lexuses. So the bottom line is a Jeep Grand Cherokee would outsell a Lamborghini Urus. But nobody talks about the Jeep Grand Cherokee enough. And that's why
the Urus.
or the Urus. And that's why the noise has been gone there. And at the same time, there's also another interesting section where these loser hating sons of bitches from outside of the UAE that look for an excuse to judge Dubai and say Dubai
Let's talk
is
about
this
them a little bit,
shit or
yeah.
this, that. They're the ones that go say, you see this fake city? We're not fake, Baba. The average Emirati family has dinner in his house with his family.
This is not
Normal.
But
He
let's talk
has
about
family cars.
Let's
The
talk-
average person living in Dubai has an average car, not a Bugatti. They have the same Golf as you have in the UK. We have the same Volkswagen that you have, Touareg that you have in Germany. It's just that those people don't care about social media, so they don't make noise. It's like I say, the empty drum makes the loudest
like
noise.
more noise. But let's talk about those people who, because I saw, you remember the shithole reel you put?
Yes.
Oh my God,
That
I
shit
saw
went viral.
the comments.
Yeah.
Because I know the reels that I have to check them. And people, they were furious.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand if they are furious, but maybe they can be furious that you said you called their country
Out of
shithole.
pride,
But they cannot say, "Oh no, Dubai, it's bad," or
No.
because it's not, man. Like,
not. You
let's
cannot.
face it.
Let's face it. It's the truth. Anybody who actually has an emotional reaction to me talking so good about Dubai. For me, one of my favorite comments is, "How much is Dubai government paying you?" I'm like, bro, they don't need to pay me fuck all for me to talk good about this place.
Yeah, man.
I will do it for free forever. As long as Dubai stays and the UAE stays the way it is, I will talk at the loudest of my voice with the biggest trumpet at the top of the highest mountain about how Dubai and the UAE really is.
You know why?
Why?
Because I talk about Dubai a lot as well, like even with my friends. Because, bro, a human being, for him to be happy, he needs something called safety. Maybe more than food. If he eats a little bit, but he is safe, bro, he's happy.
But do you know how many super rich friends of mine, I'm sure you have the same, in America, in LA, one of my friends, his RH has been stolen 4 times in the past 2 years.
But let me talk about safe. It's not the safe you think. It's super safe to the point that if I toss my mobile, someone will bring it back to me. It's like I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
And there is another thing I saw in your comments, by the way.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, listen, London, it's been for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And Dubai, one day it will be like this." As an Arab, I'm gonna answer this. London, it was created by the Romans. It was called Londinium, and it was in its beginning, there were a lot of thieves. There were a lot of smugglers, brothels, and all of that. It's the culture. I'm not saying it's a bad culture. It's just a culture.
It's
all right?
a fucked up culture, bro. Let's be honest.
It's their culture. I'm not gonna judge it.
You be the polite one. Good cup, bad cup. I'll say all the crazy shit for them.
Here, this is Arabia.
Yes.
Our culture, if you steal, we don't accept you. If you don't like for your friend or your neighbor what you like for yourself, we probably will not like you. If we discover that you're like this, we will like segregate you from All right. So the culture of this region, it's starting on this basis.
The foundation. Is solid.
To give it 100,000 of years.
That's why I feel it will never become the
Look, I'm from Algeria. There is a little bit of crime.
Yeah.
But you know what we do if we catch a thief?
What?
It's better for him to be caught by police than us. Brother,
it's like serious. Nigeria, bro. They will burn you with a fucking tire.
Exactly.
Light you up and your family will see you burning like a barbecue.
Brother, this is the culture of this region. That's why, I mean, this modest.
There's no burning of tires, people in Dubai, just to let you know. This is different. Africa we're talking about here.
We're from Africa. I'm from Algeria. It's from Nigeria. We are here. So Africa is a different story. We're not going to even understand there.
The Nigeria countries, the Nigeria is the gangster.
But here, I'm talking about the whole region. Like, if you go to Bahrain, it's safe. If you go to Kuwait, it's safe. If you go to Saudi, is not as safe as the other GCC countries. But the culture is like this. So this is why, for the person who said about like, oh, Dubai after 10,000 or 2,000 years, it will be like this. I doubt it. Maybe crime will increase a little bit.
But that person's also a fucking idiot because the reason I tell you that is, I know I have no filter compared to you. I feel like you're the gentleman of both of us, right? He's just trying to make himself feel better about the shithole he's in.
Exactly.
Telling himself, oh, I'm in this bullshit city, in this fucked up country, living a life I don't want to live, but I'm proud of it. But it's in poker, we call it pot committed, right?
All right.
When the flop comes, and because you've committed X amount of money in the flop, the turn and the river coming, you overinvest even more when you should have folded when the flop came because you knew you had a bad hand. But people keep over-investing. It's the emotional investment, right? From there, they have to now, psychologically, their mind now justifies by looking for stupid excuses.
That they're good.
That they're okay, they're fine. You're not fucking fine. You are in a burning fucking boat. And you are sinking into the bottom of the ocean, whether you like it or not. If nobody wants to tell you, let this be a fucking wake-up call for the rest of the world.
Even if
it's very simple.
Even if the boat is not sinking, but it's not a nice boat to be in.
The boat is sinking. It's burning. The wood is ruptured, and there are holes in the bottom of the fucking basement of the boat. That's the truth. And the thing is, a lot of people try to be very. I can also respect you trying to be respectful, and I get that. I am not trying to sugarcoat it anymore. It is what it is.
No, the reason why I'm not judging, I never been there, so It's just what I hear.
You don't have to.
If I'll be there, then I see what you saw, then I will
Don't
talk
forget
about.
about being there. Take it from those who are from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody leaves Dubai and goes to London and says, my wallet got stolen or this bad thing happened. No one.
Yeah.
But Londoners run to Dubai and be like,
I can relax.
my boy went to the beach alone in Five Palms, slept on the beach alone. And that's an open, whatever, it's a public place. Slept on the beach alone, had the sunbed next to him. His phone was there, his wallet was there. He had his book on his chest and passed out. I went to say hello to him a few days ago and he was not even knowing. If it was London, his bag is gone. He has a beautiful LV bag, a beautiful Fendi person there as well.
Oh my God.
Everything is gone from the phone to his wallet, his key, everything is gone. I came and I poured sand in his ear as a joke. And all he had to worry about was the discomfort of that, not the discomfort of that he's getting robbed.
And this is priceless, bro. This is the thing. This is the only thing that I would. There's other aspects.
Yeah.
But this is the key.
This is the fabric of the society that we live in.
There is something, it's like a game we play here in CHEKD. Okay. By the way, the name of the podcast is CHEKD. I don't know if you catch this.
CHEKD.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for remembering the spelling. So there is this game we play in the end of each episode.
Okay.
It's related to Dubai, where I'm gonna ask you questions about your preferences. It's actually a couple of each domain, and you're gonna choose one. I don't know if you saw the reel with Zohaib.
Yes, Shoba versus developers.
It's something similar, but I put some business setup. Like I found only 2 or 3 options.
Okay.
All right, let's start with phones. Do or Etisalat?
Etisalat.
Etisalat. Emirates Airlines or Etihad Airways?
Oh, I'm gonna visit a bunch of friends. I'm gonna have to go with Emirates Airlines.
Of course. Dubai
Sorry,
Mall.
Sheikh Abdullah.
Dubai Mall or more of the Emirates?
Emirates Mall.
Emirates Mall. Everybody who lives in Dubai say the same. Jabal Ali Free Zone or DMCC?
DMCC.
DMCC.
Yes.
The Walk, JBR, or City Walk?
Oh, they're different.
Down.
City Walk.
City Walk.
Yes.
All right. I was thinking
they're
gonna say
different,
JBR. Yeah, they're different, but still, like, you know, they have the same
City
vibe.
Walk because it's more calm. JBR is more, open beach, all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know with whom you bank, but I just put like MBD or DIB.
Oh, MBD. Day and night.
Yeah.
Can't even, no offense, DIB, but no comparison there.
By the way, Amar or Sobha for you?
Shoba.
You also...
I live in Shoba now.
Shoba.
I just moved there.
Yeah.
Bro, I literally last month moved from Emar to Shoba.
So you're a Shoba person.
For now, Emar is great for service. They're great. They know how to maintain stuff, but Shoba is just flying right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Dubai Marina or downtown?
Oh.
This is the hardest one. Like even me, I cannot answer this.
As pissed off as I am of Marina with the traffic, I was in Marina before they put the tram.
Yeah.
I still go with Marina. There's something about the energy. I think it's the water.
See, Marina have something, man.
I think there's an energy there, and I think it's the water. I really think it's the water. I'm an earth sign, right?
Oh, what's your sign?
Taurus. I'm an earth sign, but I really believe the water, there's something about the water, the fluidity of it that complements my spirit and my soul.
That's right.
I love Marina very much.
I'm an air sign.
There's energy in there as well. I love the water.
I'm an air sign.
I think my next villa is going to be by the water, by the beach. Maybe in the Palm or something.
Palm is...
Yeah. I think my next villa is good. Even if not the Palm, anywhere. It could be La Mer, it could be Jumeirah. I think I want to live by the water now.
Actually, it's more calmer for families. It's chill. I like Jumeirah.
And I like peace and quiet. That's why I like Shoba as well, because Shoba now has a brand new area, brand new buildings, super high quality buildings and all that. And you get the peace and quiet over there. Very family oriented. There are few schools.
I've noticed that about
beautiful. And traffic is nothing like downtown. So sorry, Emar, it's not the EU that's the problem, it's the location.
It's the traffic. It's the location.
Traffic, yeah.
Another one. Uber or Kareem if you're not gonna use your car?
Kareem.
Gucci or Louis Vuitton?
Ooh, LV, baby.
You don't need to choose LV, huh?
I'm just the way it is. Gucci is still...
Yeah, I mean, I would have put Hermes or Louis Vuitton next time.
Oh, that one, that's easier then.
Hermes?
Hermes, for sure. There's no... Okay, to be honest with you, I still like LV quality more.
Actually, to be quite honest, in bags.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but Hermes, they have something special.
They have grip. It's the experience, the feeling, the texture, yes, but LV still has better quality leather.
Yeah, and LV is becoming the everyday bag.
Yeah, exactly. So so LV
the
is the bag you
everyday
take to the
bag, yeah.
beach. It's a bag you're gonna rupture, throw it around, mess with it.
It's a good
Yeah.
everyday bag.
Yeah.
Here in Dubai, LV is an everyday bag.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Hermes scratches up so easily. You know all these things when you over abuse it.
All right. For food, Talabat or Deliveroo?
Talabat.
Talabat.
Easy.
Wild Wadi Water Park or Atlantis Water Park?
Atlantis Water Park.
Atlantis Water Park.
Oh
Good
yes.
choice. Okay, Starbucks or Arabica?
Arabica.
My man. Okay, I already asked you about that. Okay, Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Ooh.
You know, there is the Ferrari people and there is the Lamborghini
So
people.
all my life as a child, I've always been a Ferrari guy, but I'm a
That's the
Buga.
problem.
But here's
Ferraris
the thing.
are in our childhood.
But it's exactly. But now when I really think about it, I am more a Lamborghini guy. Lamborghinis are built better, in my opinion. They're built
Yeah.
more. They're built more sporty. They're built more compact, more together.
It's more sexy.
Ferrari has an attitude of it's a Ferrari. You take it or leave it. Fuck you. I'm gonna go with Lamborghini.
For me also, I always choose Lamborghini. I love Lamborghini since the first time I saw it. Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one: iPhone or Samsung?
Do I even have to answer that?
I know what's the iPhone, obviously.
All day, every day, to his grave and back.
Tony, it was amazing. You know, actually, we should have planned the 2 hours, 3 hours podcast.
I swear to God.
I
You and I
wanna
together,
do-
man,
yeah.
it's fucking fire.
We will do a long.
I feel like we
format
can
with
even
deep
talk
stuff.
one whole hour about existential
That's what I
topics.
want to do.
One whole hour. One whole hour psychology, one whole hour. Bro, we can go. It's going to a point now, I just want to talk about everything.